Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and an update on our $1 million challenge at the end, so please stay tuned. In the previous video we did a stock update on ticker symbol NLST, Netlist. There were some important developments there, so please refer back to the previous video with regard to NLST. Today's stock analysis is going to be for ticker symbol ABML, American Battery Metals. This is a stock that has been featured a few times on the channel. So we're going to start by first of all having a look at the chart. So if you have a look at the screen today, overall the market was a red day today. So many stocks were down quite significantly. But what we can see with ticker symbol ABML, it did hold up. There were no significant gains, and also no significant losses. So traded at closing at $1.56, just down in excess of 0.5% on the day. First thing I'd like to share with you is on the screen here you'll see confirmation of Form 8 that has been submitted by American Battery Metals. So let's see what the details are of this submission. So on the screen here, item number 7.01, regulation FD in terms of disclosure. So what American Battery Metals disclosing is that they have just prepared a presentation on its battery technology activities and goals. So this is an investor presentation. It's attached. We're now going to have a look at a quick summary of the key points in there and see if we can pick up any important developments. Let's start by first of all having a look at Doug's monthly update for August 2021. First paragraph going down, the headline here is powering forward our pilot plant. This is the one that we've all been following with regard to the city of Fernley. So Nevada has approved the mass grading and permit for the pilot plant. The business is now one step closer to the start of construction. So the permit application was submitted on July the 23rd. Once the core building permit is approved by the city, construction will begin, and they're going to be mobilizing contractors. So further down, powering up, progressing our industry through policy advocacy, and right at the bottom they are closing tabs on bipartisan infrastructure bill. Is a $1.2 trillion federal investment in America's infrastructure. The Senate vote is still pending and legislation will continue to evolve, and the business is encouraged by the provisions so far in this bill for clean energy, and hopefully American Battery Metals will benefit from this bill. Okay, so on the screen here you'll be able to see the key headline page, American Battery Technology Company Investor Presentation, August 2021, OTC, ticker symbol ABML. So let's have a look at the first page in here, which is going to be looking at demand. So on the screen here you can see the opportunity is a demand for battery metals. So we here have on the screen a chart which is looking at global battery metals demand for the market starting from 2020 all the way projected all the way up to 2030. So we can see an escalating demand. This demand includes lithium, iron, cobalt, phosphorus, nickel, aluminium, graphite, copper and manganese. So obviously all of them in huge demand, especially for the EV sector. So on the left here we can see demand for battery metals is expected to grow, and copper and aluminium by almost 600% right through to 2030. So the battery site recycling process of tomorrow must be able to recover a wide range of metals in order to meet this global demand. Let's now have a look at the situation with Fernley. So on the screen here you can see the building is going to be the first non-thermal battery recycling plant in the whole of the United States. It's going to be looking at on-site global development center supporting both recycling and primary battery metal extraction technologies. It's going to de-risk the project by providing one subsystem at a time, allowing for adaptation to two new battery chemistries. So it's going to have low-cost electricity utilities, nearby rail and highway infrastructure. The benefit to the local economy is estimated to be in excess of $38 million just for the local economy in the first 10 years of operation. So this will include job creation, training, improvement in living standards, market opportunities as well. So it's going to be located in an opportunity zone. It's scalable and repeatable, and the opportunity for future plants is going to be possible as well in terms of repeating the proposed plan for Fernley. Let's now have a look at the problem or in terms of battery recycling. So we've got two processes at the top. One at the top we have the current thermal process, and the problem there, we can see in the image, in terms of batteries received, there is a loss of electrolyte plastics. It also involves high temperature processing, and that loses graphite fluoride with emissions. It involves smelting, and lithium, graphite and aluminium is also lost. And hydromet refining, again, manganese is also lost. So the middle process is a simple hydro process that involves grinding, shredding, and it involves bulk hydrometallurgical complex removal of impurities. But the problem with this one, it requires expensive solvents. So right at the very bottom, we can see here the process proposed by American Battery Technology Company. This is an in excess of 90% recovery rate, so much better than the two proposals above. It avoids high temperature processing, it streamlines, and it's efficient. So very good for the environment. We can see on the image here, it involves demanufacturing of batteries, it involves targeted hydrometallurgical systems. So we're looking at high separation of low value byproducts, automated demanufacturing processes, removal of contaminants. So basically overall it's a much more eco-friendly process of battery recycling. There has been an important development with regards to the areas of expertise. We're going to have a look at that now. So on the screen here, let's first of all start by having a look at the existing team and the key positions. In terms of chemical processing plants, these positions, starting from the left, we have Ryan Meltzer, who we all know as the former R&D manager at Tesla. He's currently the Chief Technology Officer. We have August Meng, who's also former ex-Tesla. We have Chuck Lieber, who's former construction manager at Tesla. Chris Gustafsson, who was a former procurement manager at Tesla as well. And then we have Head of Operations, Chief Operating Officer, Andreas Mieser. He was previously at Georgia Pacific. And this is the interesting development. On the right hand side, we have an unnamed person who is going to be brought in. He's going to be looking at, or should I say he or she is going to be looking at quality control. This is a person who's going to be the newest member of the ABTC team. He's the former lead analytic chemist at Tesla. So if anybody is aware of who this person is, drop it in the comments. It will be very interesting to find out. Okay, so we're going to finish off by looking at now an overview of the company. A lot of people have been very bullish on American Battery Metals, holding for the long term. It's certainly a long-term stock. It is an OTC stock. They are looking to uplist onto the NASDAQ in the near future. I'm very confident that will happen. And I certainly think the potential for this business is tremendous going forward in the future. So let's have a look at the company overview here. We can see currently the market cap is just under $1 billion at 916 million. Shares outstanding 573 million. And the last price was around $1.60. So on the chart we can see at one point this did go in well in excess of $4. The stock has trended downwards. The market conditions have not been favourable. There have been issues in terms of negative press and allegations of the business not generating revenue. We are aware that that is true. They are not profit making. They do not have revenue, but it is also the same for many of the other companies trading on the NASDAQ and many of the pharmaceutical companies. But we are all aware of the potential here for American Battery Metals. So in terms of the closed loop circular economy, they're going to be involved in recycling, extraction and resource stewardship. So we've seen in the presentation the potential is huge, the demand is huge, and the market growth for this is probably going to be worldwide. And now I'd like to finish off by providing a quick update in terms of the $1 Million Challenge. If anybody's interested in finding out more about this, details are in the description below. There's also a video that was initially shared on YouTube public platform for you to have a look and give you a little bit of an insight. What I can update in terms of that, there have been significant developments in the strategy. So an overall overview strategy was provided in the video. Since then, in the Discord, what we have done is I've developed two further strategies and also streamlined the first strategy. So the first strategy that we're all using in the Discord is hide, seek and profit. Second strategy we're using is king and queen, and the third strategy we're going to be using in the future is going to be called finger on trigger. So there is an exclusive video detailing this with written documentation, so if anybody's interested in finding out that, it's still time to join. And the other thing I'd like to now do is provide an update in terms of this week. This on Monday was our first week of the $1 Million Challenge. Very pleased with in terms of how it's going on so far. So I'm just going to share with you some of the positive and one or two of the negative feedbacks and trades so far that we've had. So we can see here on the screen, starting from the left hand side, second trade queen 50 EAHR at 283, sold at 548, 93% profit. The queen is holding the line, so great first few moves there. First queen and going down, first queen shares of SOFI at 1504, sold for 1620, 7.7% return, did better than the king. So again, this is referring to our king and queen strategy that I was referring to earlier in terms of the Discord members using that. Shout out there on the third one. Sava was a good choice, worked out for me good in terms of getting an 8% gain on my first trade. And then maybe a little bit more, not as successful trade. I was down 0.36% on day one, trade one. Could have been a lot worse, maybe an update tomorrow. So not all trades are successful, so we agree with that. But moving on, bought Zoom at 8.2, $381.52, sold now for $394.89, around about 3.5% profit. Could have gone a little bit higher, but couldn't take the stress. So obviously we all know that dealing on the stock market is very stressful. Top right hand side, managed to scrape my 3.5% from Fiverr and dropped into GM on the dip. So as we saw, GM was significantly down today, possibly a great buying opportunity. And then finishing off, got out too early with my king and queen trades. Tomorrow's another day. Queen Mara 6.6%, king Pac B 4%. So the implication there is the returns could have been higher, but you know, we learn, but I always say it's better to sell in profit, and there's always going to be another trade. And the next one I think is our best performer so far. However, there is a little bit of bad news associated with that. The next person I'd like to give a shout out on there, from the $1,000 he managed to trade up all the way up to 2,888, but the bad news is after that there was a 13% loss. So still an excellent start so far. And finally, the final shout out at the bottom right hand side, I bought my first stock CRISPR yesterday at 120.64, sold it today 124.55, 3.3% profit. So if you're finding you'd like to join our challenge, it's still time. Details in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.